Texas Storm! Ah!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dimlits.
We're lit!
Where we are not the brightest bulbs in the box.
But we're brighter than the lamp.
Yes, this is a podcast where we talk about Pixar movies because why not?
We already did DreamWorks, so this is just the next on the list.
Yep, and today we have the third installment in a very profitable franchise. Notice I didn't use the word good. I just said profitable.
Is it actually very profitable?
Yes.
It's incredibly profitable.
Incredible.
My brain's broken just thinking about
As
this.
much as this movie's box office is big, but not anywhere near some of the bigger ones that they have. The merchandise don't make the joke. You made that in the other two.
It's so hard not to.
I know.
It's so hard not to. Merchandising. I had to.
He can't help himself.
No, he can't.
I can't.
Why do you set him up like that?
I
He can't help himself.
You led me right into it.
Cars 3.
Cars.
The 18th entry into the Pixar catalog came out in June of 2017, the day before my birthday.
What a pinnacle of modern filmmaking.
They gave it to you for your birthday.
Yeah.
Aren't you happy?
Yeah.
Did they give you a receipt too?
I
return
hope. Yep, this is the movie where Lightning McQueen dies. If anyone remembers, almost 6 years ago, that was everything.
Was that only 6 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was all the buzz at that time. It was like, because the trailer was like
Because
super
the trailer,
serious of
I
him
know.
wrecking. It was like, Lightning McQueen is dead.
It's just so funny.
But yeah, I did not see this when it came out. I think I watched it for the first time on Disney Plus when Disney Plus dropped. So I think it was like the first month or two of 2020. So about 3 years ago.
Wow.
Is the first time I ever watched it.
Why not? It's your favorite.
Yeah. I mean, it is the best Cars movie. That's not saying much.
Probably, yeah.
None of them are good, but we'll
It's
get
the
into it.
shiniest turd.
Yeah, we'll get into it, though.
It's turd the third. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, thank you. So, without further ado, Cars 3. Let's see what I wrote a year ago or whatever. Just like we thought Lightning McQueen was in the trailer, Cars is not dead. And as another entry into the franchise. This time, Lightning is trying to ka-chow his way back into racing after a terrible injury. But first, he must figure out how to beat the newest racing cars, led by Jackson Storm, who prefers eating other cars.
What the heck? What? Why did you what?
I don't know. I know why it's in there. I can't believe I left that in there.
What?
Because it's Army Hammer.
It's Army Hammer.
Army Chewie Hammer, according to our cast list here. So yes, this movie is about Lightning wrecking, wanting to have one more shot because they're going to force him to retire because he's old and a new generation of cars is just they're using analytics to beat them. And that kind of goes nowhere in the movie either because they really build that up on like, oh, look at all the analytics and look at it's basically the Moneyball effect in sports. And
that's all.
And now it's like
Couldn't Lightning McQueen technically use those analytics to...
he's not built
in
that
theory.
way. That's the thing. But it's like the cars are like, and that's the other thing we'll get into. It's like the cars are like specifically made for like all these pinpoint things that they can track down. It's like, okay. So they should go faster.
It's like, yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
I
I have a whole spiel about this universe. We've done it.
I think we've done it.
Let me find where it starts because I was talking about Cruz, which is one of the new characters, Cruz Ramirez, who's his trainer, and treats him like an old man because it's funny, even though he looks exactly the same.
He does. That's another thing. Oh, I don't want to know how much you want to get into our spiels really quick, but like, how do cars age?
Well, I have a whole
I
don't know if I covered
For
that.
the last time. Go ahead.
So, a new addition is Cruz. Her whole deal is that she wants to be a race car, but which Holly's been told she isn't, which begs the question, is that specific car actually a race car? And if it isn't, doesn't that mean that she isn't a race car? Who decides what cars are race cars at inception? Who decides what all the other vehicles are? Who makes
the vehicles?
Yeah, who makes the other vehicles that aren't cars? How are these beings born or made? What does that look like? And how did Doc die?
That's another good question.
I know Paul Newman passed in 2008 and they would never have recast the character out of respect, but how does a car die in this universe? I know Cars 2 has cars exploding, so I guess they die there, but how do they die otherwise? What were you going to say?
Also, his mentor is older than him and still alive.
Yeah.
So how did Doc die?
Yeah, they never tell.
Question.
Is this a transmission thing? Does their engine die?
Did he just all of a sudden hyper rush?
Yeah, here's the thing, though. If the engine dies, can't they just replace it?
So,
couldn't they just replace the entire
Is he a different car
body?
if they replace the engine?
Yeah. Would they be the same car? Do they have the same brains? Wait, didn't Lightning get a touch-up after his wreck at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
So if he has different parts, can't they just find parts that make him faster and better at racing? Couldn't he just put in a new engine to make himself go faster? Is that how cars work in real life? And how do racers not just cheat the system and have the best parts year and year, heck, race after race?
I'm still stuck on who carved a restaurant to the side of that mountain on the first one. That's our episode for today. Thanks for watching.
I can understand the tactics and strategies of actually racing, but at the end of the day, it's just about going fastest. So wouldn't they just juice themselves up? Do cars juice? Is there an equivalent to performance-enhancing drugs in the Cars universe? Do they have medicine? They have doctors, which are basically mechanics. So does that mean they are one and the same? Actually, I guess that one makes sense.
Yeah, I think they are.
But what was I talking? Oh, Cruise, yeah. I think I keep going. Oh, yeah, it's like, I know that they switch at the end.
Right. Yes.
Are they allowed to do that? I looked up.
It said they were legally, as long as she spawns the 95, they are allowed to switch.
Well, I looked up the rules.
Why?
To NASCAR, it's like, can they do that? You can switch cars before the race. Mm-hmm. So I go, okay, can they switch drivers? Yes, you can switch drivers in the middle race if one is like unable to continue, like sick or hurt.
But he doesn't have a driver.
But they're not driving. Are they drivers? Are they okay? And then I look up. Well, this is basically like running a race. Like for us, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You can't switch runners in the middle of a race.
Well, yeah.
How does this work? Again, wouldn't it be better if he doesn't even attempt
Hey, there's nothing in the rules that says they can't.
Oh, we're going back to that argument.
It's just all boiling down to like, how does this stupid universe work?
Wait, is Cars and Turbo in the same universe?
I think it has to be. There's no other explanation.
I want Lightning McQueen to run over Turbo. But after he does, that force him to slip and they both die. And then we can get gold-plated, custom-made, limited edition Lightning McQueen Crocs back.
Give us those Crocs! I am 90% sure I brought this up in an earlier episode.
We did.
But we did, okay.
The first one.
But give us those Lightning McQueen Crocs, baby. I want those. I would wear those every single day.
We know you would. That's my big, long rant. It's like, how does this... I don't understand this whole thing. And I remember the ending bugged me. The first time I watched it, I'm like, what? You can't do that. It's like, I don't mind her racing. Mm-hmm. But why? Well, that doesn't make any sense. And then I thought, but then it made me think like, but she isn't a race car. So when everyone says you're not a race car, she's not. So it's like, shouldn't it have been she can race, or is a race car, but people didn't let her? I think that's stronger. I think it comes.
Maybe that's what they were trying to say, and they just didn't say it.
No, she lined up for her first race. She says it in the movie. I lined up and I just couldn't do it. And then I was sitting there. I go, so you're a big chicken. You lined up and got scared and just ran away.
She almost chickened out of the race again at the end. She almost did. And then
so again, what's more effective? No one would let her and he gives her the shot, or she just chickened out and then she just gets a second chance. I feel that first one is more powerful.
Yeah, pretty sure it is. Yeah,
because he's letting someone, this is the passing of the torch and letting her have that opportunity, because that's kind of what they're doing with it.
That's exactly what's happening. It didn't an actual show, like a little show or like a cartoon or whatnot come out after this with him and Cruz?
Probably.
Disney
There's a
Plus
bunch
show,
of.
like,
There's a show that was this past year on Disney Plus. Mm-hmm. So I don't even know if she's in it.
Yeah, I figured because I feel like that's what they were doing. They're just leading up to her having the mantle. I don't understand. I'll be honest
And
though.
he quits quick too.
He what?
He quits really quick. He goes like 10 laps. He's like, I can't do this. It's like you worked this hard this whole movie and you give up right away?
So
what was the point?
So here's my quick thing on that. So this is my first time ever watching this movie. I really truly thought they were going to cop out of him giving up and they were going to have him win the last race. I really thought that's where they were leading towards. So I was at least pleasantly surprised that they stuck through and that they made him give it up. I am happy they did that. I will give them a tiny little inch of credit for sticking to their guns and making that the ending. But that's about all the credit that I'll give this movie. That's all I have on it.
Yeah, most of the movie is kind of nothing.
Nothing. It's absolutely nothing.
It's
the first 2/3 are.
Do you want my take on what I
Let's
think,
go,
how I think it would be better?
I also have a spiel on my phone if you want me to bring that up too.
But before I get to that, okay. Yes, the animated show is called Cars on the Road.
Okay, there you go.
She is in it based on the art in the last episode. But here, listen to this. Listen to this. This is the description for the last episode. This is the only one I read. I don't know why I read it.
Oh, boy.
Probably because it's the crew that has Cruz in the picture. At his sister's wedding, Mater must confront a past he thought he left in the rearview mirror.
Does that mean what's her name from the second movie's in this too? His girlfriend, spy?
Probably.
That isn't in this movie at all.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
my
my spiel on this is I think I said it in my Letterboxd review. What if they gave us all what we wanted, and Lightning McQueen
died?
Well, maybe not died.
No,
can't race anymore.
Got maimed to the point where he can't race anymore.
Yes,
and had to learn to think about racing through a frame of different abilities.
Well, that's
and learning passing the torch.
Yeah, learning to teach,
that.
right?
That sounds like a really good
movie. It almost
movie.
sounds like that's more inclusive. Because it includes people with disabilities.
Oh,
maybe he doesn't think he can teach. And then through a series of trials and tribulations, he learns how to teach others. All we have to do is change the cars to animals and they do Kung Fu. That's Kung Fu Panda 3, which is way better.
I wrote that in my notes. I literally said, this feels like Kung Fu Panda 3 did it better.
But you're right. Like, that is a much better story.
I would relate to it more.
Making him trying to get back to racing just isn't that interesting. Because what did he do for the other two movies?
Three times now. Well, twice at the point of watching
this. One of the biggest things in my notes that I wrote is that you know what? There are very few scenes, cinematic scenes, that have been in movies that I hate more than that stupid Crazy 8 scene with Miss Fritter. I swear that lasted for 30 minutes and felt that I just... Every bone, every fiber.
So the demolition derby with the big school bus.
Yes, every fiber in my body made me
you know why they did
scenes.
that?
Oh, I know exactly why they did that.
You know why?
That's maybe. Do you want to know what I wrote in my notes?
What?
You want to know what I think they were trying to copy? Herbie. Herbie did it better. Do you remember the Herbie? Did you guys watch the Herbie movie with Lindsay Lohan?
No, I've seen the original.
Okay. So,
one, yeah.
granted, that movie is probably not very good. It probably did not age very well. But as a child, as a teenager, I adore that movie. And there is a scene in that movie where they go to a demolition derby.
Was Herbie a Disney Channel original movie?
Fully Loaded? No, that was... Fully Loaded was in theaters.
Fully Loaded, yeah.
Was there kind of like
Probably.
A bug movie that was...
Probably. There's a bunch of Herbie movies.
Okay.
But regardless, listen, that demolition scene in Herbie Fully Loaded is so much fun. It's energetic. There's fun. There's good music playing. You're entertained by it.
I mean,
there's nothing.
It can't be.
There's butt kiss. I hated it. I despised it.
He's giving me Robert De Niro, Al Capone, Untouchables vibes. Like, I want him dead. I want his family dead. I want his house burned to the ground.
The more
that's what he's doing.
The more I think
he's
about
sitting in his little barber chair, getting all mad.
That's it. I just want to get that out in the open.
You know why that scene is there?
You know, you can't. It's not copyright infringement if you do it to yourself.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Okay.
You know why it's in there?
Why?
So it gives her a credible racing win, so she's eligible to race at the end.
Oh, sweet.
That's it.
I didn't even think about it like
They
that.
say it. They're like, well, it says she does have one racing win. It was earlier this week. I'm like, that's stupid. This is stupid. This is dumb. Oh, dumb. Stupid.
You know another thing that's just infuriating and stupid?
What?
Why recast Michael Keaton?
Probably couldn't get
Did they
him.
recast him? Yeah, because that wasn't Michael Keaton, was it?
Well, was Bob
but if you
Peterson,
can't-
one of
but
those
if you can't-
creative heads.
But if you can't get him, why
Why
you put
put
the
him in
card
it?
in there?
And
I
why
know.
are they doing that stupid talking head show crap? That is so stupid of them. Oh, if you
I've
look
never
at,
seen him this on fire about a bad movie before.
I don't know why this one just rubbed me the wrong way.
He wasn't even this on
Revved
fire
you
about
the
wrong way.
good dinosaur.
No,
A good dynasty.
And which is it's funny because I also watched that for the first time, but that one was just mediocre. This one, like the first 2/3, I will give them credit because I thought they were going to cop out at the end. I did not. I said that I did not think they were going to actually have him not.
So you will give them credit for the last third.
Yes, but the first two are abominable. They are trash. They are disgusting.
Abominable.
They're worse than abominable. They're
They're
Would you
not
say that this
bad.
is worse than Cars 2? Because it gives you
No,
hope,
because
and then
they-
it takes it away.
because they learned their lesson. Larry the Cable Guy is barely in this movie, and that is because Card 2.
This is why I think this is the best Cars movie for two big reasons. One, it's shorter than the first movie, and two, it never brings up the second movie.
It doesn't touch it.
So those are the two reasons why, yeah, this is the best Cars movie.
I mean, I guess I'll give you that. But the first one has the song. It had Life of the Highway, which is
Does a song make a movie?
No.
for Cars. Yes.
Only Toy Story 2 is that the case.
But that
And-
doesn't even really make the movie. That's what makes the movie memorable.
for Car
I take it back. Toy Story is what makes the song memorable.
exactly. What makes Cars memorable? Life is a Highway for me. For this movie, absolutely nothing makes this memorable.
Oh, I mean,
Well, you don't like Life's a Beach and then you drive?
God, I just.
Life's a Beach.
Also, I will say because you know how I've been saying I thought they were going to cop out and they were going to have him win the race. At the
No,
end?
have you said that yet?
You want to know the first note that I wrote down?
wait, what? Do you think they're going to cop out or something?
The
But then they
first,
didn't.
the first note that I wrote down: are they turning Lightning McQueen into Tom Brady? Because they're gonna have him come back.
He did have a uniform change at the end.
There you go. There you go.
Only instead of going from blue to red, he went from red to blue. Yeah, he looks dumb at the end.
He
He
looks
looks stupid.
so-
Fabulous Lightning McQueen. Kill
That's
me.
just.
So I have
get
a comment to make about this the artwork for it.
Let's go. I'm actually glad you mentioned that. So yeah,
I don't-
This shot right here
Yeah.
is more interesting than any other shot in the movie.
It's interesting.
I
you
like
say
this
that.
poster better.
That's a horrible poster.
I know.
Oh my
see.
God! Please show that on screen.
It's the one.
And if
that
you're
I
watching
put
on,
for the letter. I always pick the funniest looking one. That looks so stupid.
if you're listening on
it looks
audio,
like him and Jackson are lovers, which man, that would have been a different movie.
if you're listening on audio, please go look it up. It's just
Then we would
Cars
have an
3
answer
poster.
about where cars come from, though.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that. Anyway,
I think if there's anything else that I wrote down that I really feel like I need to mention.
it's pretty predictable, low stakes movie. Like
Ooh.
the stakes never feel that big.
What a
It's-
waste of a Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, never mind when you were talking about the shot. I will, again, like I said, there's like point, because like if I were to give this a rating, it's a 5.1. Because
Out of
there's
10?
out of 10.
How do you do this numeric system?
Because the 0.1 for me
5.1.
is the realism in their animation.
real-
I will give them the real like the way they like the ground,
the way that-
water. I will give them it looks
The good dinosaur backgrounds.
the good dinosaur.
It's a landscape experiment.
Yes, I will give them. I think the rendering, just the quality of animation. It obviously is just getting better, and I think it looks good. But that's it.
But like the camera work is
you're right.
boring compared to the first one.
It is, and if they actually had the good camera work in it on top of like the actual crispness of the pictures, I think that would give it a better benefit. But and crispy pictures, that's the best way that I can put it.
Crispy picture.
I know it sounds weird to say.
Like a good Dorito. Except this is like the green
Like
Dorito at the
a
bottom
good
of the
night.
bag.
Mater is there. Remember, that's in the second movie.
God, that was thank God they learned. Honestly, thank God
That's
they learned.
he's barely in this movie. That's another positive.
Yeah.
And actually, when he gets on the phone call with him in the second half of the movie, I was like, okay, that's how you use him. He's still annoying, but when he's used in bits and pieces that make sense like that, I can take it. I can't take him as a main character. No. But I'll take him once in a while like that.
Yeah. And obviously I had to have him get her done in there, so good for them to get that. I don't know.
I did like him. The one part of the movie I liked the first time, and I liked just as much the second time, is when he goes to Doc's hometown, talks with Smokey and the other old racers, and that moment where because he says like how Doc was never happy, and Smokey's like, what are you talking about? Like, after he started training you and managing you, like, he was happy again.
All the letters.
And it was like, that's good. It's nothing fantastic. It's just, that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good stuff.
Like I said, the first 2/3, like right before all that started to happen, like that's the worst part of the movie. Like the last third where they start incorporating actually learning how to teach.
Makes you wonder, should we have been in Doc's hometown for most of the movie?
Ooh.
Because if he's there, he's cut off from the world. He's learning things. And that's the thing. They rush that. They do the montage, and then they're racing like right before they have to leave, which that felt weird. It's like, oh, we gotta go. It's like, oh okay. Oh, they're all coming with, okay.
And the whole Lightning McQueen, he's doing it again. He's showing up to the race the very last minute.
Yeah.
Okay. Why is that important? Why is that a thing?
Why do they feel like that builds tension?
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
We know he's gonna make it on time. Like the first movie was different because it wasn't necessarily last minute. He's been missing all week, and it's not like a point of tension for us. But it's like, yeah, that makes sense. It's a media circus. It's like, because what did they say? Like, oh, you're gonna be last because you didn't do qualifying, and it's like, okay, and then he gives up 10 races. It's like, what was the point of making it important that he is last if he's not even gonna race?
Like, they could have done so many other things. They could have,
He gets injured. He can't race anymore. He has to learn to teach someone, and you go to Doc's hometown, and that's where maybe he's training before that and just it's not working. He just can't do it because he's frustrated. Then they go to Doc's hometown, and he finds like the spirit of it. He finds the reason why, the motivation to actually be a teacher.
Yeah. And
that's how you pass the torch better.
That sounds like a great movie. It really does. And I'm glad
or at least serviceable.
At least, yeah.
It's a Cars movie.
Yeah. They need to take this movie and get it serviced. That was a really bad joke. I'm sorry.
Joke?
I know. I tried making a joke about like taking it into the garage and getting it fixed, but it fell apart.
Oh, I know what you're going for. I'm just trying to figure out why you like said it.
It really fell flat like a tire. Am I right?
I'd like to run over your.
This is not to keep going with it.
Dickey, you're driving me crazy. And that is how you do that. I'd rather get an eye roll than a death stare.
I'll take either, honestly.
I'm looking at my notes. There's just nothing to talk about.
So the other thing that I'm thinking about the training is I can't believe I actually have a lot to say about this.
So you do have a lot to say. Please continue to carry us because Jake and I have like nothing else to say. For all these movies, it's like
I don't know why I'm so heated on this. It just
because it's probably because we've seen it before and we're just kind of jaded, and you're just kind of like no.
I think maybe that's right. But so it's.
Did you watch this with Sam?
No, I feel like I should have. I would have loved to see her react to this,
or she would have been laughing at you getting mad. And you're like,
probably.
She's like, it's a Cars movie.
Yeah,
settle down.
Probably that too. But so the other one thing I want to mention is the cringiness of of Cruz trying to train him when she is like, dude, like she's
you're
like
talking
singing
about
and dancing and like doing that whole like doing the hokey pokey thing. I don't know. That's what I'm feeling.
Because you got to turn yourself around.
How do cars do that? Like, axles aren't made to do that.
No.
Are their tires their hands?
Yeah.
Do they run on all fours then?
Wait a minute.
Some of us do.
Remember he fixed her trophy?
We're
in
not
that
talking
one
about
scene? You remember that?
Mithrigan.
You remember that?
What?
Sorry,
He
what?
fixed that. He broke her trophy,
Yes.
and then he fixed it with tape. How do you tape it?
With his
How
tire.
do you do that?
With his tire
No, it
and
wasn't
his
his
teeth.
because the tape was like that big. It was his teeth. He's going.
No, he used his tongue. We know this.
And it's funny because him using his teeth and his tongue to tape that trophy back on. There's a camera that Mac can see him. So
Yeah.
Mac's probably like, "What is he doing?"
God,
How does this work? Now we have to watch Planes.
Oh my God.
We don't have to. No, that's separate studio.
But it's on Disney Plus now.
But yeah, because it's still under the Disney umbrella.
Yeah.
We are not watching Planes. I mean, you can.
Well,
If you want,
can
if
do
you want to check
whatever
out
your
what
heart desires.
the adventures of Dusty the Crop Duster. Yeah, I know his
Don't
name.
tell me that's his actual name.
It's Dusty.
No.
And
And
who
he's
voices
played by
him?
Dane
Cook. We mentioned that
Oh,
in the first
I do remember
video.
the Dane Cook. Yeah, that.
Good luck, Chuck. I've seen Good Luck, Chuck.
I haven't.
It's probably a good thing. We've probably talked about Dane Cook already. Is that the?
Are we done
Is that
with-
the BK Lounge guy?
Yeah, that's the BK Lounge guy. That's
Whopper,
one of my-
whopper, whopper, whopper,
Don't
whopper,
you
whopper, whopper,
dare bring
whopper.
that BK. Have it your way.
Chicken,
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 chicken, chicken, chicken, chicken, chicken, chicken,
I hope you
chicken,
realize
chicken, chicken,
chicken,
chicken, chicken.
I hope you realize by the time this episode comes out, that commercial is probably going to be long gone.
Probably. No, it will never die.
just like the mayhem guy. That dude's been on the air for like 20 years.
Yeah, and when you see him in the first John Wick movie, it's funny because it's like, hey, it's the mayhem guy.
Mayhem. Oh wait, that's
why
a
is he
foreboding.
acting? Why is he acting serious? Oh, this isn't the funny movie.
Oh God.
Do you have anything else to say, Mr. Heated?
Yeah. So let me open up my notes here.
Oh boy. Hey, how
They
could
turn Laney into Tom Brady.
how did the tire?
Oh, this was a good one.
Wait a second. How do they let the air out of their tires to drive on the sand?
Is it like a fart? Do you just kind of have to like push a little bit and it just goes?
And that comes out the tailpipe, but we already discussed that.
But I'm glad you mentioned that because I think he was on the beach when this happened. I wrote this. The fact when she opened up that computer, okay, on the beach. Do you remember what happened? Do you remember the sound that played?
Yeah, it was the Apple thing.
Yeah. Why? Why?
Because Steve
Apple
Jobs.
sponsors.
No, it's because Steve Jobs was their stockholder that helped them get going when they first started.
And that's all.
That's been a thing through this is they always have like little nods to him, especially
It's
since by
just-
this point he's dead.
Yeah, honestly, that was just.
That's why.
Oh my God, it's so bad.
I don't think that's bad. That's just them paying homage to Apple.
I mean, I guess.
Also, a car like that could not tow a thing that heavy.
No.
Nope, definitely not.
Definitely not through the sand.
Okay, so another thing that I had, I got a list. It's a quick thing, but why in the Sam hell was the person who wrote talking about the analytics last name was Certain? How lazy of a writer do you
Natalie
have
Certain.
to be to name her Certain?
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, she's on the TV, the one who's talking through all the analytics.
Her name was
Oh.
like
Natalie
that's
Certain.
such a stupid. And I know it's nothing to get up and. It's not
I don't even know why that's a pun.
Right? It's just dumb. Isn't it?
Wait,
It's
you're
just-
saying so it's not really a pun and it's dumb? Why don't you like it?
No, but like,
How'd you dare you? That was never dying. That's one of the worst things I've ever heard. How'd you dare? It's not even a pun. It's just you changing a word.
what were we even talking about?
I don't even remember. It was cheese.
It was something about it was like Ratatouille probably or something.
No, that was probably
No, it was like
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks.
Yeah, we were
That
talking
was
about
what it was.
cheese.
It was
And he's like, "How'd you dare you?"
it was the cheese opening.
Well, it's like you said something.
yeah.
I actually said a pun with a cheese that worked, and he goes, "How'd you dare you?" I go, "What? That's not what? That's stupid."
You see, the thing is, I don't write.
Moonster or whatever he said.
Yeah.
No, you could have stopped at I don't write.
But I'm gonna say I don't write.
No, stop there. I don't.
That's what I'm trying to say. I don't write Hollywood. I don't write.
I don't. Say it with me. I don't.
I don't write Hollywood movies.
No, I don't.
So you should not have my level of puns in these movies.
Okay, but for real though, no, I legit need someone to explain to me why that's a pun.
Which one?
The certain one.
Because she's.
I don't think it is.
Analytics, she's certain. That's.
It's not
supposed to be funny.
See, at this point in Pixar's catalog, I don't know anymore.
Is it a car pun? Like, is it a? Someone tell me.
I'm still waiting.
It doesn't
I'm
make sense.
still waiting for a joke in any of these movies.
You're still waiting for a joke now for a movie you watched a week ago?
So, in the catalog, I'm waiting for a joke that is funnier than Bing Bong dying. Because ever since Bing Bong died and we hear Bing Bong, I have not laughed at anything that hard. That's couple. It's only been a couple.
Yeah, it's like a
three. There's only the third movie since then, but 3 whole movies. We're talking like 2.5. Sorry, what is it? Doing the math. Like 5.5, 6 hours of movie, and I haven't laughed at any of the jokes as hard as a character dying.
Oh, Pixar, what happened? What happened, Pixar?
Money. Toy Story 3 started the downfall.
Started?
Yeah. Because what came right after it?
It was just a plummet, wasn't it?
It really was. Because, what did come right after Toy Story 3?
Cars 2.
There you go.
And then Brave.
There you go.
You just... Whoops. Stinky.
You know, it reminds me of the commercial. Stinky, stinky, stinky.
Hefty, hefty, hefty. We need a giant hefty bag to throw the entire Cars franchise into. It can stretch that far.
That's true.
I mean, of course. Oh, man.
Oh, God. That's...
Now, if you really want to talk about it being successful, whether or not it's good, they've made more money on, like, merchandise than you will ever see in your life.
That's why I brought up at the start of this, like, even if the box office isn't that high comparatively, they make so much money on these cars.
So much money.
Oh, I think the second one is probably the best performing.
That's what I was going to say. This one made worldwide $338 million on a budget of $175 million. So it about doubled-ish.
Well, you got to add on advertising.
Right. So, I mean, it didn't make... it made money, but it, made probably about...
Yeah, it's the lowest grossing of the franchise.
Yeah.
The second one is the highest gross.
The second one is the highest.
But that one didn't even hit 600, whereas there's a bunch of Pixar
hurts my heart.
That hurts every bone in my body. It makes no sense.
But if it's the Cars universe, you can replace all those parts in your body and still be the same person. That's how it works,
Was
right?
there any good music in this movie? Was there any music in this movie?
I'm glad you mentioned that. I don't think there was.
Is there?
There
Legit,
is.
Was there any music in this movie?
I don't remember any songs.
I don't even remember the score.
Yeah, there
really
is.
don't.
I just don't remember any of it.
Because that's what. The first the second one has no redeeming factors to me. The first one has Life is a Highway. This one.
Shut up and drive. Oh, that's the wrong movie.
Yeah, this one barely sticks the landing. Why is this? I just.
Why is this?
Just why? Why Pixar? Why? That's all I got.
So we have nothing else to say about Cars 3.
I got all my anger out.
Now we're all just exhausted. See, we get exhausted for you.
Yeah.
Because we love you.
That's funny. We get exhausted.
Exhausted.
Well, shifting gears.
Nicely done.
Dickey, where can they find us?
If you want to hear more of our rants and more of our craziness, you can check out us on socials. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all at All Slate Media. You can also listen to us, if you're not already, on Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, Google, iHeartRadio, literally any podcasting website. You can find us on there. Make sure to rate us, bumps up our numbers, and of course, check out our beautiful faces. Check out our awesome set on YouTube at All Slate Media once again. Please like us. Please subscribe. Please comment. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. We're just trying to get better for you guys. And also, check out our website. It's a cool website. Very cool website.
Next week, the 19th entry in this, Coco.
Yeah!
Make sure you watch it in preparation for next week.
We're back to some good movies.
Yeah.
I love Coco.
Well, we'll see how this goes. Dickey loves it. Me and Jake aren't giant fans, but we'll see. This is my first rewatch of it. Is it your first rewatch or no? You've seen it multiple times?
Twice.
Twice?
Oh, well, the first time I watched it, you can't. Okay.
Should we save it till next week?
I don't know. Do you want me to save it till next week?
Yeah, save
Okay.
your story till next week. Anyway, thank you for joining us. This is Off Slate Media with Dimlits. We'll see you next time.
So, y'all, I have to ask, because it's about that time. What the hell are we going to do for this cold open?
Just start sleeping.
Get her done! Get her done! Ah! Jackson Storm! Ah!
Face like 4 times. I kind of like that take.
You need to do that.
I was trying to like throw it off, but it just went like 4 times. I don't want to chuck it. I don't want to break it. But you're like, how does that work? I go, what's the thing? What's that pipe thing on the back? The tailpipe. Yeah.
This is a Harvard graduate right there.
Harvard.
Harvard.
I went to Yale.
Why'd you hold your pinky up?
Because when you're fancy, you hold your pinky up.
No. You do that when you have a drink.
Yeah, this is your phone.
Yeah.
Although, have you seen that kids nowadays just hold up their hands like this? Yeah, dead ass. They just hold up their hands and this is on your phone.
You just use you.
What are you talking with? Like is it a seashell now?
It's like a big. It's like an old '80s
It's
phone.
because that's what you hold your. It's like that's how you hold a phone.
I know.
But he did use a Gen Z term to describe something he was confused about Gen Z
That's a
Gen
good
Z
one.
with.
Dead ass isn't. Is that a Gen Z thing?
I mean, I know what it means, but I don't use it.
Okay, we ready?
As ready as I'll ever be for this.